You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
I'm joined in studio by the very nice exercise lady. Claudine Cooper is back with us in studio. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, Claudine. It's good to see you. Now, for those who don't know, I saw you on Saturday after Thanksgiving because I tried once again to brave the elements and come and work out with you for your free community workout. And not only did we have the workout, you also gave us a tour of Iconics, the facility, and also the Hollywood Park property. Let's talk about that. There you go. Top
there
button.
We go. Okay, I'm on. It was so good seeing you, by the way. It was nice to have you in the crowd. And also, you worked really hard, Mo. How's your body feeling?
I'm less sore now than I was yesterday. But I, even though I am 55, I still have an ego and I still have pride. And I'm not going to fall out in front of all these people who are both older and younger than me who come every single week. I am not going to be shown up by nobody.
The ego saved you that day. But yeah, no, we took a nice little walk around, just saw the development that's happening. You know, I live in the neighborhood, so I walk to work and I see stuff being built all the time. But most people just come, they do the workout with me, and a lot of them have been working out with me for many years. And so they don't get a chance to kind of see the different things that are popping up over there. And I thought it would be a nice way for us to move and, you know, walk and get to know one another as well.
It was a Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it comes to mind that I expect people would be less inclined to work out for it being a holiday weekend. And I wonder, and you know better than I do, is this a period where you're going to see more people, fewer people as you move through the holidays? What usually happens?
Well, in my historical data, I've noticed that people stop coming to the gym right around September, October, and then right around January, the whole thing picks up, right? Because that's how me and you got here, is because I started coming in January. So what I've noticed, though, Thanksgiving week, with all the people taking off for work or school or whatever, is a very busy week in the gym. This is traditionally speaking. It's like people are like, okay, I'm going to eat everything in sight this week, so I'm going to go ahead and buckle down and, you know,
They make this inner deal with themselves and I'm going to eat everything and I'll work out real hard later on at some later date.
We had several classes at the gym that day from about 6 a.m. until about noon. Every single class was full of people doing group fitness exercise.
Is that something that I could probably see at every gym or just your gym, do you think?
Well, I mean, my gym is, you know, the most poppinest gym that there is. But
it's gorgeous. It's brand new and it's expansive. All sorts of stretching classes and hot yoga and cold yoga. Yes. It's almost like a Starbucks in there. You can get whatever you want just with frills.
You absolutely can. And I say that to say there's a lot of gyms that have expansive class schedules, but we in Inglewood have never had this kind of a gym. So it's very new for us. And that is why I think there's a lot of excitement around it. But to answer your question, even back when I used to work at 24-Hour Fitness, on Thanksgiving, my class would be literally the window to the wall. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. The evolution of the concept of the gym. When you're working at 24-Hour Fitness, I had a membership to Bally's back in the day, and it was bare bones. And I had a membership in more recent years up until the pandemic at LA Fitness. How has the gym environment or what customers are expecting, how has that changed? I see there.
Oh, you want me to? Oh, you're trying to rile me up right now. Well, there's a lot of things that have changed in the gym over the years. And speaking of Bally's, I used to work at Bally's Total Fitness myself. I would greet people at the door. Hello, Mo. How are you today? Welcome to Bally's Total Fitness.
Oh, you were that person.
I was. Yes. I have my chops in the gym. So I started working in the gym when I was 18 years old. I'm going to turn 50 in January. So hopefully I can celebrate with you guys on the air. I think my birthday is actually on a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Hey,
I know.
We'll have cake for you.
No, we won't have cake. No, but we can have some snacks though, maybe some pizza.
Okay.
So with that being said, one of the things that I've noticed that really grinds my gears is that when we were prior to the pandemic years, when we were in the gym, if I wanted to work on the leg press and you're on the leg press, I would walk up to you and I would say, excuse me, can I work in with you? And then what's the natural response?
Like, oh yeah, sure. Or I'm done. Feel free. But there's usually a level of courtesy.
Right. So couple responses are normal etiquette. Yes, you can work in with me, or hey, I just have one more set left. I'll finish up and you can have it. Those are a couple natural responses. What I've noticed, and this is just in a very small percentage of people, but now I'm seeing people say, no, you can't work in. And no, I'm not getting off this machine. And no, I'm going to stay on the leg press for as long as I feel like. And I'm so flabbergasted. My gasted is flabbered.
Okay. I would then say that's not necessarily the gym, but more a function of us people in the gym. We've changed it from an outside perspective. I would say there are more exotic types of classes being offered. It's not just spin class. It's a special type of spin class. It might be,
I'll tell you what it is. Okay. Because we just created a new spin class at the gym in Inglewood that is called Spanish Spin. The instructor speaks Spanish. The music is all Latin beats. So that class is full every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And that's just one way we've created unique classes at this particular facility that match the community, right?
Yeah, look, I saw you have a stretching class. I said, I would like to be in that.
I would love for you to come. Mondays at 9, we play old school.
Whoa, I gotta get up early. That's early for me.
I know it is. But you can do it, Mo. I promise. And it's a relaxing environment.
I gotta leave my house. That means I have to leave by 8:00.
8:30. You right down the street. Come on.
Yeah, but that's kind of driving fast. I'm being serious now. Yeah. I actually like to warm up before I stretch.
Smart.
I want to warm up my body. That's just from experience. I don't just fall into a split at 9 a.m. Sorry.
Okay. So here's the deal. We don't fall into a splits either. So I'll give you kind of an idea of what this stretching class is for us. Again, just mirroring what maybe is needed in the community. It's a breath work. It's also set to music that is both old school and new school. So you have some, let's say, Al Green, you have some Isley Brothers, and people lay on the mat and just relax and get their breath together. And we're not doing any kind of rushing into the splits or anything like that. It's a very chill class that usually follows a very intense class.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Almost like a cool down stretch.
It is.
Beyond the stretching and the type of specialty spin classes, what else have you seen as far as the expansion of the offerings of a physical gym?
Well, this is the thing. A lot of the gyms, especially the big box gyms, like the ones that we used to work at, like the 24s and the LAs and the Bally's, as it used to be called, they have done away with group fitness offerings for the most part. So if you're not paying a high priced luxury membership dues kind of thing, you're not getting a bunch of different class offerings. Group fitness is something that had a hard time coming back after the pandemic. And that's one of the reasons why I think it is such a special offering for us to have in Inglewood.
She's back in studio with us, Claudine Cooper. Go to ClaudineCooper.com. You can find out all the great things that she's offering and doing and how you can be a part of those. When we come back, Claudine, what do you want to get into? Anything specific?
Yes, let's talk about what you ate on Thanksgiving.
Oh, boy. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
As we continue Wellness Wednesdays with Claudine Cooper, you can always check her out at ClaudineCooper.com. Mark Ronner dubbed her as the nice exercise lady. I think it's a little bit dismissive and reductionist in reasoning. I think
no, it's affectionate and respectful, and it's accurate, isn't it?
I would say that there are people who may say I'm nice until they do exercise with the lady.
Yeah, look, I was there Saturday. There's nothing nice about it. She was trying to make people pass out, and there were some people who did go to the bathroom. I think they went to throw up.
Yeah, but the sadistic exercise lady doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
No, and before someone actually gets to experience what I do,
We don't want to scare them.
they may think I'm a nice exercise lady. I'll tell you a funny story. Years ago, a woman brought her husband to my class, which was an athletic, which was like an athletic conditioning class, which is kind of my specialty, right? And so he comes in and he says to her, you say she's always giving you these tough workouts? Her?
Kiss of death.
And
Kiss of death.
He threw up within the first 10 minutes.
It sounds like you took that as a challenge.
I did it. How dare you underestimate me?
I've done a workout twice, and each time I've seen people leave prematurely. I'll say 15, 20 minutes in to go, and their bathroom's nearby. And I'm thinking like, okay, you're not going because you need to relieve yourself. You would have done that before the workout.
Right.
So anytime you're going during the workout,
you're seeing stars.
That's right.
You're making me nostalgic. Back in my wrestling days, the coach would put a wastebasket with a liner in it next to the mat. You're not leaving the room.
No.
If you have to throw up, you just do it right there.
It's happened to me in Hop Keto many times.
Yep.
I know all the signs. I know all the signs. And part of it is if you are dehydrated or you haven't enough fluid before you even start, that's a quick way to end up there. And if you start out too fast and you spend all your money, as they say, early on, you'll end up throwing up. And
the other problem is if you eat something soon before you go to work out, that's a big mistake.
Yes.
Don't do that ever. Also, don't show up with a massive hangover.
Oh, that's
no, you're just asking for it. You only do that once to know never to do that. But anyhow, you were asking before the break, Claudine Cooper, about
food. Speaking of eating, right? So when you go to work out, the best rule of thumb is try to eat something 60 to 90 minutes prior and not sooner than that, right?
Right.
On Thanksgiving, I taught a couple classes that day and I intermittent fast. So I don't usually eat my first meal till about 12 or 1. Right. But knowing that we were going to my in-laws for the feast that is Thanksgiving.
Oh, my condolences. I can say that. You can't say that.
No,
I can say that.
You can say that. And so I ate a little something just to stave off because I knew we weren't going to eat till 4 and I couldn't go all the way till 4. But I say that to say that whenever you're in a situation where you're going to work out, it's really important to monitor how you eat and what you eat. And you asked if Thanksgiving is a busy workout day. Yes, it is. But I don't recommend coming to the gym on an empty stomach and waiting until 4 or 5 o'clock to eat your Thanksgiving dinner. So how did yours go? When do you guys eat?
4-ish.
Yeah, that's 4-ish. About normal, right?
We'll say we're going to meet at 3. And Mark, you're half black, so you'll half understand this.
I celebrated half Black Friday. Go right ahead.
There's this thing called time, and we be showing up a little bit late. If the
I've heard about this time. There's a word for it, isn't there? A term?
Yes,
we call it CP time.
Yeah, it's a little bit dated term, so I'm not going to use the full term.
Am I allowed to operate on CPT now?
Yes, you are. You'll just be half late.
Okay.
But if the invitation says 3 o'clock, folks will be showing up at 4:30. No, I'm 100% serious.
No, I'm happy to be included in this finally.
Yes. And
well, just don't come to my husband's black families late because they are the only punctual black family. So when they say come at this time, it means come at this time. And the food was ready and it was the traditional holiday fare. Turkey, greens, mac and cheese, traditional. Like yes. Yeah. How about you guys? What's your
traditional? Yeah. It's traditional. No, it's straight up. We don't try to experiment. We don't try to keep it new school or anything like that. You're going to come, you're going to get the mac and cheese. You're going to get the turkey. There will be some ham. I don't eat ham, but it's there. They have the cranberry out of the can. It's straight up traditional. There's nothing exotic about it.
Biggest question. How long is too long to keep the leftovers?
I don't eat leftovers. I'm so glad you asked that.
I think
do not.
I still had some either yesterday or the day before.
You do
I
know
think
that
that's
it's more.
too long,
Yeah,
Mark.
yeah. The bacteria grows by the hour.
I know, but I was raised by people who grew up in the Depression, my grandparents, and we were not allowed to throw food
out
away.
food.
Yeah,
I get that.
Can't do it.
I get that. And each year, someone will say, "Hey, are you going to take a box or a plate or, a Ziploc bag?" And every single year I have to remind them, no, I don't like eating leftovers. I like the original presentation, but it'll never match that. The consistency, the taste, even the smell, even though I don't dislike the smell, it's not going to smell the same. It's not going to be the same level of enjoyment. So I just say no.
It's because King Mo doesn't eat leftovers like the peasants.
Yes.
King Mo.
King Mo doesn't do that.
Yes.
Okay, so my big win on Thanksgiving, my aunt, my husband's aunt, who's now my aunt, she makes a German chocolate cake from scratch. It is the best cake you've ever tasted in your entire.
You like coconut on your cake?
Oh, I love coconut, period. Coconut
Mark?
water, coconut, anything.
My father loved German chocolate cake. I never got into German chocolate cake.
Oh,
I got to side with the nice exercise lady on this one. That sounds delicious.
Let me tell you. And she said, you can take as much as you want home. And I said, no, thanks. I'm really trying to stay on my. Oh,
Hey, wait. And I know somebody got offended.
no, she did not.
Oh, she didn't?
No, she honored. She was like, it's fine. I was just explaining to her, I'm trying to stay. Because as we get older, the consumption of sugar is a whole nother ball game on how it makes us feel, how it shows up in our skin.
Look, I deal with arthritis. If I have too much sugar, it eats at my joints and it's hard for me to just walk.
Period.
I'm very conscious of my sugar intake.
Yes. And so this is the first year in my 21 years of being with my husband and going to my in-laws that I have turned down the German chocolate cake. Yes.
It's rough. It is really rough. Now, Mark, you should know this in your half blackness.
Yes.
Growing up, whenever you were offered any food,
True.
you did not say no.
Mm-hmm.
And I have relatives or had relatives, not many left now are living, from the deep South, and the things that they would offer. There are things
You don't
that
mean chitlins.
You mean
no,
cousin.
we had
cousins.
see we had that. We had one night. I think it was it Tiffany brought in the chitlins?
Oh, no.
Nobody's brought me in while I was here.
No. We brought. Maybe it was Tuwala, but someone had chitlins, and that started the conversation. Like, Mark, you got to have chitlins to be fully black.
Poor Mark. Mark is like, wait, did
Halfway
I sign
for
up
life.
Halfway for life because I'm not having any
That's not
chitlins.
gonna happen.
But we had this long discussion about there are things that I've had to eat because it was put in front of me.
Yes.
And it was beaten into me. I'm being serious. Like, you do not say no. And the stuff that my father's side of the family from Lynchburg, Virginia, I can't tell you from possum on down. I'm just remembering stuff. Gator, stuff that was just put in front. And you just have to eat. And my mother was always the one who was eyeballing me, saying, "It's put in front of you. You
better eat it."
That's right. And now I'm old enough; I just don't visit them relatives anymore.
Now you're old enough, you turn down leftovers.
That's
Okay,
right.
you do what you want to do now. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like as we get older, we make our own rules, whether it's for Thanksgiving, whether it's for what we will eat or what we don't eat, or how we will raise our children.
That's right.
Right?
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
You brought back some bad memories, Claude.
Sorry. Trauma.
I'm thinking about, look, I'm not eating fried okra again either.
Oh, I love fried okra. That's one of
Really?
my favorite veggies. Yes.
I would eat it as a kid because it was always put in front of me. And then I started looking too closely at it. A little too slimy for me.
It is slimy.
There are a lot of things that I ate as a child. Never again. Had chitlins. Never again.
Yeah.
I won't even let someone clean them in my house
They
And you're
smell
trying
so
to
bad.
make me eat them?
because it's a rite of passage.
We've all had to do it.
You had to do it.
Oh, I had to do it.
Okay.
But let me just say this. My family did not make or eat chitlins. My dad married a woman when I was older whose mother prided herself on how clean she got the chitlins and how good they were. And so she set the bowl in front of me and I was like, ooh, so I don't really, she was like, what? And
got offended.
Got offended and was like, oh, you're eating these. And I was like, oh, and I did, but.
My late Aunt Raven, I know we got to go to break. My late Aunt Raven, my mother's sister had come out to California from Detroit. And she was, and I think I was maybe 7 or 8 at the time. She was cleaning them in the house. I had never smelled anything so awful in all my life.
Oh, it's heinous.
And then had the dirty nerve to say, this is what's for dinner tonight. Mark, there is nothing like smelling someone cleaning chitlins.
You're really selling me on it.
And then knowing you have to eat them because it's going to be put in front of you.
You're spoken like a frat brother who wants to haze his fellow brother. You want me to eat this stuff?
Yes, I do, because I want you to go through the same horror I did. And then we would be brothers.
No, it's called a trauma bond.
Yes, it is. Claudine Cooper, always great to see you.
Always good to be here. Thanks for having me, Mo.
We'll see you soon.
Yes, you will.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. We have more tickets to give away to Grits and Glamour and also an update on Disneyland.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And we often talk about Disneyland and sometimes how it can be cost prohibitive. If you didn't see the news today, this actually, I think, is a great thing. In fact, this is going to get me back to Disneyland sooner than I would have normally considered. Disneyland is bringing back the Southern California resident ticket offer discount for 2025. For a limited time, eligible SoCal residents can purchase a 3-day, one-park ticket for as little as $67 per person per day. Yes, I would do that in a heartbeat. If I had guests in town, and I frequently have guests in town staying at my house, and they want to go to Disneyland, yes, I would absolutely get tickets for something like that, because typically tickets start at $139. It's almost double. So if you can get almost half off, that will get me back to Disneyland. Also, you can get 3-day, one-park tickets for a total price of $199. Different ticket packages. They have the 3-day park hopper ticket for a total price of $289, and a 3-day, one-park per day ticket with Lightning Lane multi-pass for a total of $295. And let me pause for a second. I remember when I went to Disneyland 2 years ago. And before I got there, I'm thinking like, well, why would I buy multi-day passes? I'm going to try to go ahead and get it all in one day. I don't think I'm going to come back a second day. When I saw the newer version of Disneyland that I had not seen, when I got to see the Galaxy's Edge, when I got to see Pixar Place and California Adventure, and the expansive nature of those parks, then the light bulb came on. It's like, oh, now I get it. You can't all do this. You can't do all this in one day. You just cannot do it all in one day. If you did, you wouldn't enjoy it, and you would not be able to do it at a leisurely pace. And saying nothing of setting aside enough time to eat, maybe getting souvenirs. You just can't do it all in one day. That's why you would want to consider a multi-day pass. And they have a 3-day park hopper ticket with Lightning Lane multi-pass for a total of $385. It's still not cheap, but it's far better than what it was. And I think this is what people were waiting for or hoping for. I don't know why it went away. I don't remember when exactly it went away, but it was something that I know a lot of people did depend on. It's like, hey, I live right here. I would like to be able to take advantage of the Disneyland experience more often than once every 7 or 8 years. But it's hard for me to pay $115 or more for each person. Look, it's a family of 4. It's like $500 before I even walk in, not including parking, not including food, not including souvenirs. You know, and that's for people who live in Southern California. I'm not talking about someone who's coming to California and having to get a hotel as well. So this is good news. This is really good news. And it was funny. Last night at Pastathon, sorry for jumping around. It was around 9:30. We're in the last hour of the show. And I'm a kid from the city, all right? It sounded like there was a lot of gunplay at 9:35 last night. And then Chef Bruno had to say, it's okay. You know, it's just a fireworks show. I was ready to duck and everything because, you know, after a certain point, it sounds like someone's getting shot.
What I would like to see Disneyland do, in addition to bringing back these limited edition tickets, is bring back the Southern California Park Pass annual pass option, because the last time my co-parent and the kids had those passes, they were for the Southern California resident discount, which was a steal at the time. This is good, but if you brought back those passes, Disneyland,
hint, hint.
I'd cop that.
The discount tickets can be used from January 1st of 2025 to May 15th and can be used on consecutive or non-consecutive days. As far as the area, which is considered Southern California, you'll need proof of residency within zip codes 90000 to 93599 to purchase and use the tickets. And if you don't live in Southern California, you're asked out. Too bad. So sad. You suck for not living in Southern California. We're just better than you. Is that harsh? I don't think so. Let's give away some tickets. Grits and Glamour, Pam Tillis and Lori Morgan at La Mirada Theater tomorrow evening, December 5th. If you can't go tomorrow evening, you have no business calling in. Let's give away a pair of tickets right now to Grits and Glamour, Pam Tillis and Lori Morgan. Get your country music on at La Mirada Theater tomorrow. You and a guest, if you're caller number 5, you and a guest will get to see Grits and Glamour, Pam Tillis and Lori Morgan at La Mirada Theater tomorrow evening, December 5th. If you're caller number 5, you and a guest will see Grits and Glamour. The tickets are there waiting for you. It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And we always talk about cruises on this show. And because I would talk about cruises, I was able to interest Tuwala in going on his first cruise. And I think he had a good enough time where he would go on it again. One of his original inhibitions, and he can speak for himself, but one of his original inhibitions was getting too close to that rail and maybe ending up in the drink. And I told him, as someone who's been on many cruises, I don't go up on the rail. I know there's nothing but water on the other side. There's nothing to see. Whatever I want to see, I can see from 6 feet back from the rail. And Tuwala, you know, the rail comes up to, let's say, your navel or something like that.
Just about waist high, right below, depending on how tall you are.
Right, yeah. Right. It doesn't require you to climb anything to end up in the water. And that's true even if you're in a stateroom with a balcony.
If you hit a patch of water, whatever, and it's too strong, you're up on that rail, leaning, taking a selfie, you're going over.
Yeah. I have never done the selfie things. Like, look, I'm not going to tempt fate. I'm not going to get caught with like a gust of wind or something. I'm lose my balance or anything. The reason why I bring this up, because the passenger on the Ruby Princess, part of Princess Cruises, is believed to have gone overboard ahead of the cruise ship's arrival earlier this week on Monday in San Francisco. There was a search for the man on the ship in the surrounding water, and they've since called off that search. Princess Cruises said the 72-year-old man was not found following several searches of the vessel. In other words, they were looking for him all through the ship because he was unaccounted for. And I don't know this ship's itinerary, but just know anytime you go ashore, you have to show your badge and they scan you out. And so they know where you are, if you've left the ship or if you've not returned to the ship. So they scan you when you come back in. And there are cameras everywhere. It's kind of hard for you to do anything and not be seen. That's part of the reason why they feel that he might have gone overboard, because he would have been seen going into somewhere or leaving somewhere, anywhere else on the ship. Quote, "We extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of the guest who was traveling alone." I've traveled alone on the cruise before. It's a great experience. I don't know what was going through this person's mind, whether he was in a time of sadness or he was distraught, or if there are some other contributing factors. I just know I have some personal rules. When I am on a cruise ship, whether I'm alone or anyone else, and I am going to be known to drink, I don't go up to the top deck. I just don't. One, because that's most likely dark, because I'm not day drinking. I'm really not. And sorry, Mark, I'm not day drinking.
You're on a cruise. If there's ever a time to day drink.
I'm just saying I don't. And look, if I'm going to be drinking and it's well into the evening and I'm on the other side of Buzz, the last place I need to be, and I'm also very, very careful because they'll show movies on that top deck. I'm not going near without knowing how the ship is laid out. You have to work to get to the rail.
All right, now can I ask a cruise question, since
Sure.
I have not been, and the two of you have been trying to talk me into this. Is there an option that you can pay for where every place you go, you have one of those clip and lifeline setups like the workers on the Golden Gate Bridge?
Let me put it this way.
No.
You can be on a cruise ship and do as little or as much as you want. You can see as little as you want, because like the ship that we're on, Tuwala, you know what I'm talking about. It's a minor city. You have like a mall in the middle of the ship. You can go the whole day and not even see the water.
But
that
can
was your
you
goal.
be secured to something at all times is what I'm asking.
Can you be like an anchor?
Yes.
No,
Mark.
like those.
No, I know what you mean, Mark.
Okay.
I've tried to walk the Golden Gate Bridge and was unsuccessful. No, Mark, no. There is no little clip that you can attach to the rail as you go across, just in case, God forbid, you decide to go over this. No, there's none of that, Mark. You know what's at the edge of that boat? A straight drop down into the water.
So you're not going to bounce off the side of the ship.
No.
It's straight down.
It's straight down.
I think he's thinking it's like the ship from I Love Lucy. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do on there. You can be buried in the middle of the ship. You're nowhere near the water.
Nowhere near. You can look, and most of the stuff that you can see the water, there's like glass. It's like completely enclosed. It's not unless you're on the top deck that you can actually get to the water if you try.
I don't care. I want to be secured to something at all times.
Just stay inside the inside of the boat.
Yeah.
It's like City Walk on a boat.
It really is. I mean, I went to a bar and watched the USC LSU game. You forget that you are on a cruise ship.
I haven't been on one, but I watched a video. If you start the video where they're walking through the quote unquote mall, you would think you're on land.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah. And we were on a rather small ship. And when I first got on, we talked about this earlier. I went to when they do the whole, welcome to the ship and this is what you need to know. I said, I'll let her finish her presentation. I said, okay, so how many lifeboats are on this ship? And she started going, I said, how many people can sit inside one of these boats? Do we have to take the boats down, or are you helping us? Are there life rafts on? Is there food on these boats? What is on these boats when we get on them? How do you decide who gets on first? What if I'm out here first?
All those are great questions. It used to be when I first started cruising, they had everyone in the whole ship line up at our reporting stations. I can't remember what the names of it is. And they would go through all those things, and they're all stand-ups like, this is where you need to go in case of emergency. They don't do that anymore. Now they just basically hand you a card and they'll put it on your TV in the stateroom for like emergency stuff, because you usually have to do all that before they would actually set sail, as it's called.
Yeah.
As you just,
I had
But they don't do
11
that.
questions, Mark. I was not trying to end up in that water.
And she had like 4 answers.
Yeah. And she just looked at me with this pleading look like, please, sir, no more questions.
Did she explain how long before people in lifeboats turn to cannibalism?
Nope.
No. And I would probably have gone there. I probably would have asked something along that line. Is there anything happening in the champagne room on these life rafts if I happen to get trapped with a female passenger? Look, all I'm saying is I had a lot of questions.
Oddly
Mark.
specific.
I had a lot of questions, a lot of curiosities. And all I can say is when I was eating dinner one evening and staring out over to the abyss that is the ocean, I said to myself, T, you go in there, you're dead.
It can be scary if you're looking at it at night, because it is black. When I say black, it's darker than black in the city because you'd have city lights. When you're out at sea, There's only the light of the ship, and if you're lucky, moonlight. Outside of that, pitch black.
Terrifying.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. That's why I don't go near the rail, especially at night, for that reason.
Well, sign me right up. You really sold me on
No.
this.
We have to, Mark. Seriously, it is one of the best experiences ever.
is.
It is amazing, and I promise you, it is not a COVID festival like you think it is. Just
Okay,
because
okay.
one person drowned into the
don't let that
crowd.
get in the
All
way.
right, you know those harness things that like kindergartner classes have when they all go out for a walk?
That's a leash, but yeah,
Yeah, if we're all on one of those together, maybe.
that's it. I can buy one. I mean, if that's your only
Well,
requirement,
prove in. Let's see it first, and then maybe.
it's only for you. I'm not wearing one.
Well,
you can
we're
tie
all
your-
wearing it. No,
you can
we
tie
all.
yourself to the long suffering.
No,
one.
we all have to be hooked up together. Is what I'm saying.
No. You're going to drown on your own. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're the worst friend ever.
Remember when you used to have a radio to listen to KFI?
KFI,
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.